How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Good morning, Mr. Terry, and welcome to Money Mondays. As we always do, Terry and I'm your host, Rich, and we are with it depending on the day, the best co-host, Terry Hollywood. Hey, on Wednesday it's Charles, and night it's Sean. I got to be diplomatic, right? I can't be like a father who plays favorites.
That's true. You can't do that.
No, you cannot do that. So y'all are my favorite hosts, but you're all Robin, I'm Batman, so that's okay. I'm all right with that.
That's fine.
Did you have a nice weekend, Mr. Terry?
Yeah, I had. We were with our granddaughter and great granddaughters and great grandsons on Saturday. Spent the whole day with them, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
just sounds like a blessing indeed. Hopefully on Friday you tuned in. There won't be one this week because it's Belmont Stakes week, so yours truly will be in the computer, in the data, in everything, putting together the wagering guide over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be, I don't even know, how do you pronounce this track's name, Terry? I call it Asinobia, but I think it's Asobia or something like that. I have no idea.
I think it's called Asaboya.
Asaboya. Well, I'll call it Asinboya. Anyway, this one is the free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Later on tonight, I know that the folks over at the Stable Duel sometimes have a show on that, and they have that track as a option in their game. So if that's something you do, make sure you check that out. Free picks, again, we'll have the Belmont Stakes wagering guide up before too long. But if you didn't tune in last Friday, Tom put out a nice Flower and Friday. Did you see that exact? They paid over $800 for Thomas.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did tune in, but I didn't look at the results, so I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so I had a couple winners early on, and then Tom came just like Bigfoot stomped me, like boom, there you go. You can have your winners, buddy. Watch this. So let's see if we can find some winners today, Terry, at Parx. That's what we do on Mondays. The Philadelphia or Ben Salem, Pennsylvania track, just outside of Philadelphia, my favorite city where my sister lives. Anyway, this one is a 6 furlong optional, claiming $16,000. The purse is 28 grand, Terry. As we like to do here, we talk a little bit about the way the race shape works, how the typical winner finds the winner circle. And at 6 furlongs, you'll find, and my mouse was not working right there for a second, so I'm trying to pass time. Tactical speed does okay. 36% of the time, these horses go wire to wire. Post position wise, 1 through 7, they play fair. 8 and out gets a little bit of a bonus. Terry, we also do some simulations to see what fair odds might look like based upon 1,000 races using speed figures right here for the simulation odds. We also want to know who's going to be where at the quarter-mile marker, because speed is such an important factor in most American races. And then C-zone, which horses, based upon their best races to date, might get a trip today that mirrors some of their better efforts. Terry, what does the data say to you?
Well, the 2 and the 4 have speed, but it appears to me that the 2 is going to get there first to that quarter pole. As far as the overlays go, the 3 has a pretty nice overlay. If you see there, it's supposed to be like, 8 to 5, and it's listed at 5 to 1 in the morning line. And then the 5 is supposed to be just over 2 to 1 on simulated odds, and is listed at 5 to 1. So those are pretty good overlays. And then all of the horses have really good C-zone numbers, except for maybe 3.
Yeah, except for the 3 horse, which also does get that sim odd score. And again, I've been watching through these, and I find over and over again, if you got a strong C-zone or you got a good overlay, it's a horse you have to pay attention to. Here we see the 1 horse was scratched, Carpe all day on the sidelines. But looking at the race shape, the 2 and the 4, they're E-types. They want to be on the lead. Let's see if either of them will get the lead according to it looks like the 4 horse might be your pace setter. Good advantage over the 7, which is a closer. That's what we call a left arrow horse around here. Good morning, Barry. How you doing today, my friend? Those left arrow horses that usually want to run from the end, if they move forward, they can pull off the upset from time to time. Late speed, if you're looking for closers, if that's your handicapping style, then you're going to find that the 5, Young Squire and Sir Cupid, those 2 will be coming at the end much quicker than the rest. So if those 2 are pretty close coming out of that turn, look out. It could be difficult to hold them off. And if you add the early pace and the late speed, you find that it's a pretty competitive race, except for maybe the 2 Almond Cider might get out front and then fade as the race goes on. At least that's what the late pace figures to date say. Terry, what do your picks say?
Well, I like that closer, the 5, Young Sire is my first pick. He won his debut race at Parx Racing, and today's distance, he has a high percentage winning trainer. Then if the 4 can get out there, and if I don't catch it, I like the 4 as my second choice. Must Be Love. He finished third versus Tougher in his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 6 is my second or third choice, late to the show. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fast among today's starters. And then I like number 2, Almond Cider, as my long shot. He ran second versus.
Do you think that can taste good? I mean, I kind of struggle with almond milk. What do you think almond cider would taste like?
Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy it. So anyway, but he is my long shot, and I think this race is really quite wide open. I want to play $1 daily double, 2, 4, 5, and 6 with the 3, 8, and then I'm going to play a dollar pick 3 with the 2, 4, 5, and 6 with the 3, 8 with the 4, 5.
You know what's concerning is looking at the 2. You have that strong C-zone, strong early pace lead. We've seen that combination develop into many a winner in the past, right?
Yes, we sure have.
Indeed. So as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Terry, I'm going to start off with the what's going on here? The 5 horse, Young Squire, like you. Maiden claimer winner that got better as the race went along last time out. I like to see that. So you look at those early, let's see if we can look up here real quick. In this 5 horse, in this first race, you'll see that these pace figures, 79, 80, 87, the horse improved from beginning to end. I like to see that coming out of a first-time starter, Terry. That's a sign of a horse that probably has more to it than we saw so far. The 3 horse, Sir Cupid, first off the claim, is an 18% angle. Trainer Scott Lake. He claimed a horse that did put in the top last race speed figure last time out. Late to the show, resume says he should be at his best in the 3rd. Our good friend Charles, his classic 3rd start off, fillet off. Finally, 4 horses, Must Be Love. Was a tough call for me, honestly, over the 7 horse, Terry, full contact. But been running at this level and has been back and forth between it and Late to the Show. Those 2 kind of exchanging W's over each other. I'm going to do a 50-cent try, 3, 5, 6 over to 3, 5, over to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for race number 1, which looks like, well, we got about 2 minutes before they're going to get cracking on that, Terry. Okay. So let's kind of set up race number 2, which is a 6 furlong race. At 6 furlongs, Mr. Terry, we talked about early speed or tactical speed being the way. Post positions are fair, maybe a little bit of an advantage of 8 and out, and a little bit about a third of them go wire to wire, maybe a little more than a third. In the second race, if one's going to go wire to wire, boy, it looks like it's going to be Orb's Party Girl.
Yeah, the one it's got the most speed, but the 8 has a little bit of speed there. So it's you never know which one's going to get. It depends on who gets the best break, I think. The 3 has a really nice overlay, supposed to be just above like 1 to 2 or 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, something like that. And it's listed at 5 to 2 in the morning.
Freebie in there, I guess, huh?
Yeah. So, and then the C zones, the 1, 2, 6, and 8 have the best C zone numbers.
All right, right before they're starting to load. So let's just go ahead and do the race shape for race number 2, and then we'll go ahead and get cracking. 6 horse is a first-time starter. The 2 horse, No Sugar Please, gets the dreaded NC score. It means in its races hasn't been within 5 lengths of the leader in any of them at the finish line. The 1 horse, E horse, Orb's Party Girl, going to be up on that lead. Does have a pretty good early pace advantage over everybody else in the field. If you look, 4 points over Bet on Drama. So I would expect the 1 to be where it wants to be. The 8 horse, a pressure horse, probably going to be where it wants to be. As far as late speed is concerned, take it to the max. Pretty good 12-point advantage over everybody else. So if that 3 horse is in a pressure spot and is anywhere near the lead at the end, they won't be able to hold that one off. 6-point advantage on the early speed, late speed combination for that. All right, Terry, 2 horses to go for race number 1. Let's rewind back to our picks over here, my friend, and then see how this race plays out. What do you say?
All right, sounds good to me. And I'm going to say hello to Buy Stocks. He likes Bailey later. Good luck to everyone. I guess that's in a later race.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Scary Creations. Race 1, he wants a $10 exacta box on the 5-6. And then 3 try box on the 5 and the third, I guess, in the 5, 6, and 4. Or maybe that's this race. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would guess that's this race, 5, 6, and 4. Yeah, exact. He wants a $10 exact to buy 5, 6, and the $3 try box 5, 6, and 4. Race 1, Christopher D'Souza, 7 to win in race 1. All right, let's see how race 1 plays out, folks. They're off and running. That 2 horse, as we suspected there, Terry, the ever so tasty almond cider has lead. The favorite, the 4 horse, must be loved to the outside. And I didn't have the 4 in there in my trifecta, so that horse better kind of teal off a little bit. Christopher D'Souza 7 with that super strong C-zone score right in there for hanging in there. 4 horses now taking over at 22-2 in the opening quarter. The 7 horse at 15-1. That highest C-zone score hanging right in there, moving up on the outside. Maybe a win play show bet would have been right there. The 6 horse is trying to make its move now. It's going to go by the 2 horse. It's coming pretty hard, that 6 horse. Let's see if it can find its way into the winner's circle. I'm not sure because it looks like the 4 horse right now is the one that everybody's got to run down. But the 6 is coming hard on the outside. Buffalo Girls around the outside, The 5 horse is making a strong push at the end here. But this race belongs to the 4, Terry, it looks like to me. It's going to go, well, I don't know. That 5 is really making some strides late, and the 4 is starting to shorten up a little bit. Nope. 5, 4, and 3. 5, 4, and 3, Terry, in your opener. So, again, I have the trifecta. I just don't have it in the right order, Terry.
Yeah, that's true. You needed to get that 4 in that middle leg, huh?
Yeah, I needed to squeeze it up 1 there. But in any case, we both picked the 5 horse as the opening pick right there, Terry, in race number 1. The 5 horse going off, Young Squire, at a nice for your daily double, Terry. Went off at 6-1. How about that? So you and I,
great
on a closer, as a top pick with a 6-1 to take home the top prize. And that horse gobbled up a ton of ground. The 4 did maintain out there up on the speed. So I'm not so sure it's a closing bias, although the 3 came from off the pace too, Terry.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that as today develops. 5, 4, 3. And then 6. 5, 4, 3, 6. If you took my 4 picks and boxed them, you had a superfecta. But unfortunately, I didn't do that, Terry.
No, I'm sorry you didn't do it. So
yeah, what can you do?
Looks like, yeah, he says Scary Creation says 6 just couldn't last long enough.
No, didn't have the. What was the 4 that kind of died up in there at the end, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Elaine. How are you doing today? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And if you have picks like anybody else, Scary Creations, Christopher D'Souza, Buy Stocks, Bearing Night. If you have any thoughts about any track, any angles that you see working anywhere, any thoughts about the Belmont Stakes? Do you think Forte is an easy winner? What do you think about all of that? All right, Terry, back to race number 2 for Parx today and our picks.
Okay.
Well, you're up, my man.
Oh, I'm up. Yeah, I'm a little slow this morning, I guess.
What happens? I know it's early morning.
I like number 3, Take It to the Max. She's got the highest last speed rating, the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. So that's a lot of boxes to mark off. Number 8, Bet on Drama is my second choice. Has finished in the money in 2 of her 3 career races, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and a good high percentage winning jockey. Aztec Queen, my third pick, is the 5 horse, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race, has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have been in the money 3 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those races. And then the 1 is my long shot, Orbs Party Girl. She finished 2nd versus similar in her last race at Parx Racing and at today's distance. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 3-8 with the 4-5 with the 1-4-6 with the 3-8-9.
Hey, good morning. When does Ellis Park open, Elaine? Well, right now they switched Churchill over to Ellis Park. So
yes,
they're going to be running over there for a while.
Yeah.
Buy Stock says in the Belmont, he likes Tap It Trice. So I did see a nice workout though from Forte, man. That horse was that jockey wasn't asking for anything. And he was just like rolling, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I agree with you, Terry, in the second spot. That 3 horse gets my top call as well. Take It to the Max. By far the biggest class dropper in this race with the top last race speed figure and improved in both of its races after the debut. So continued improvement here off that top last race speed figure. I don't know if it's a 1-9 horse, but what the heck? It probably was going to go off at that. Orbs Party Girl, the 1 horse. And when they do, you should probably avoid them. Nice 15-1 morning line. Looks like the semi-odds said it should be even higher than that. But this one's going to be on the gas from Go. Does have some of the best early speed in here as well. And does have the top C-zone score along with the opportunity to improve in round 2 off the bench. Bet on Drama, something we don't have a whole lot of around here. Did run better fractions last time out at 7 furlongs than it did at 6 furlongs. So moving back to 6 furlongs should be helpful. And finally, Aztec Queen showed better across the board speed figures, pace figures in its last effort. Did also run some better fractions at 7 furlongs than 6 furlongs, just like the 8 horse. And it's another that's probably going to benefit from a cutback in distance here. I'm going to do a pick 4, Terry. We do have our $100 budget. I try to be able to spread it out something to every race. I'm going to single the 3. Probably going to regret it because these really low-priced horses a lot of times don't come home. 3, 4, 5 in the next leg, 3, 4, 6 in the next leg, and then 1, 3, and 8 in race number 5.
All right.
All right. Well, let's see. Hopefully one of us hits something. The only thing I don't like those. Sometimes I think, I don't know about you, but I think about just completely avoiding the pick 4s and stuff like that. If there is a strong favorite like that, if I can't play against it.
Yeah, I do too. But with the small budget, I'm always hoping to get a pretty nice pick 4 to help my, monthly totals. So,
well, that 3 horse right now is 3 to 5 in race number 2. In race number 3, they will trek 6.5 furlongs. So far at 6.5 furlongs at Parx, you find early speed wins, exactly a third of them go wire to wire. There is a pretty identifiable inside 3 post position advantage. 4 through 7, they're a little bit, Terry, under par. 8 and out, they do play fair. So inside speed in race number 3 might be where you find your winner. Unfortunately, well, the 1 does got some early pace into it, but it looks like the 4 horse is the quickest of them all.
That's right. 4 has the most speed, although the 5 might show it a little bit of trouble there. So we just have to see. The 4 has a little bit of an overlay. It's supposed to be just under 2 to 1. Similar odds. It's listed at 3 to 1 in the morning line. And the 5 is supposed to be just right at 2 to 1, listed at 7 to 2 on the morning line. As far as the C zones, look, they all have C zone numbers except for the 3 and the 5.
Yeah, but they're all kind of low. So this might be one of those races where nobody feels comfortable. Yeah.
Yep.
In the 3rd race, we find that there is not a straight up pilot in the group. You have a couple pressure type co-pilots in the 4 and the 6. So neither one of them necessarily needs to be on the lead, although it looks the 4 horse has a 9-point early speed advantage. I mean, the horse can jog out and probably be the one that's on the lead. That's about 2 lengths, perhaps up to 2 lengths at the quarter-mile marker. A lot of times I see a horse that should go up front, gets that 2-length lead, but still runs too fast. Why not just take a half a length lead or just a length lead and run fractions that work? Hopefully, Gias Fuego does that today. 3 horse shows some skin, does have the best late speed in there, along with the 1 and the 5. And the speed horses drop off a bit. Bless you, Terry. The early speed, late speed combination belongs to the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 1. So 1, 3, 4, 5, much better than the 2 and the 6. I mean, it's safe to say that you'll probably find the winner in the 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Yep. And Christopher D'Souza likes the number 6 in the 2nd race. So there you go.
Juliet's Magic. There it is. Yep.
All right. So let me tell you what I like in this 3rd race. Number 4, I like that 4. Gias Fuego. Fuego. Excuse me.
Gia's Fire.
Yeah. Anyway, she ran 2nd versus him in her last race, which is to high percentage winning jockey and has the highest last speed rating. Sizzling Roma is my 2nd choice to 5. She finished in the money in her last 3 races. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. Show some skin, number 3 horse. My 3rd pick ran 2nd versus similar in her last race as a favorite, but has a trainer who wins 22% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And then the 1 is my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and the rail post is winning at 19% clip. I'm just going to box 3 horses in here for 50 cents, the 3, 4, 5.
I'm going to start with the 4 horse too, Terry. Looks like we're both looking for a little bit of value in here. Gias Fuego did run the top last race speed figure with better fractions at 6.5 furlongs compared to 6 furlongs in the prior start. I always like to see a horse run faster when it's going longer. Bit of a hint that it's in shape. The resume says it's pretty good chance the horse will improve a little bit off the last start. And as we saw in the pace shape, does have a pretty aggressive early edge over everybody else. Shows some skin. That 3-horse has the top late pace and should not be in this spot anyway, all that far off the lead. Number 5, Sizzling Roma is a nice overlay. You got a 3-2 morning line, 3 to 5 morning line odds. Maybe should be 3-2 overall. What I like about this horse is it's dropping from non-winners of 2 to non-winners of 1. So a little bit of a sneaky class drop in there. And then finally, number 1, Anginetti does have the best combination of C-zone and early speed of the horses that are left. I'm going to do a $1 exacta key box with that 5, with that sneaky overlay with the 1, 3, and 4. And I'm kind of hoping the odds might creep up a little bit on that 5 horse, so I can get a nice maybe exacta, a backdoor exacta there.
All right.
All right, off to race number 4 we go, Mr. Terry.
Okay.
In the 4th spot today at Ben Salem, you're going to run 6 furlongs again, Terry. We've talked about early speed does well. About 35% of the horses go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7 play fair. 8 and out, you get a little bit of bump if there's a horse that goes out that far, but they don't in this race, Terry. Looks like there's plenty of opportunities for almost all except the rail horse Hornbeam to be on the front.
That's right. They're all pretty got some speed. So who knows who's going to get there? But the 3, 6, 7 show the most speed. The 2 has a really nice overlay, supposed to be like 5-2 or a little bit more than that. Some of the odds and listed at 8-1. And then the 4 is supposed to be just under 2-1, like maybe 8-5 is listed at 3-1. And then as far as the overlays go, the 1, the 4, and the 5 have really good C-zone numbers.
Indeed. Christopher D'Souza in the 3rd race going back 1. He likes the 2-horse to win with that 25% C-zone score. Our pace sheet for race number 4, we see here the 7-horse is a lone E. It's going to get some company, though, because the 2 and the 6 can pilot or co-pilot. So that trio goes forward. You'll find that the 6, the 4, and the 7, with that 4-horse back here, a little bit of a pressure closer type. Could be a left arrow horse. Again, those left arrow horses, Terry, are ones that you have to pay attention to because they're horses that like to be middle back, but their regular giddy up and go puts them in contention right from the jump today. If we look at the late speed, the 1-horse Hornbeam, that pressure closer type, the versatile horse, 9-point advantage over the next closest horse. The 1 is close off a slower pace today, moves forward. Could be tough to hold that one off if they're coming down the stretch, but Amaferro grades out as the top horse in here according to the early speed, late speed combination. Terry, what do you think?
I think that's correct. I like the 4. Amaferro as my top pick. He's won 2 races out of the last 4 races at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Hornbeam, the 1, is my second choice. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 starts with the second. 40 Comments, the 6, is my 3rd pick. He has a high percentage winning trainer and a jockey who has won 4 races out of his last 6 starts. My long shot is the 3, Classy American. He drops in class today and has a bullet workout on May 29th, 4 furlongs. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 4, 6 with the 3, 8, 9 with the 1, 2, and then finish it up with the 3, 5, 8.
Well, you're a long shot, and the one that didn't really score out very well in any of our data sheets, I put at the top, Classy American. And I even wrote in my notes that I could be reaching here, but the horse was off for more than a year, ran an okay race in its first start after more than a year in the barn. And then the second race, a huge jump in performance, and then has a bullet workout since. And if you rewind through the past performances, you'll find that this horse has been facing the toughest class and has the best back class by far. If the horse is back to its older form, it could be a tough one in here at a good price too. 6-1 morning line. Maybe that drifts up a little bit higher. If not, the 4-horse Amaferro, Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera, that combination I think could have a pretty good day today, like they do pretty regularly at Parx, Terry. This is the second time off the claim for Mr. Ness. It's a 28% angle, which is, believe it or not, for somebody who wins as much as he does, an alpha angle because he ordinarily wins at about 22% in 2023. 40 Comments, the 6-horse, both of our third choices in here, drops in class, finished by a head, second by a head at this level the last time he rode here, and cutting back from 7 furlongs to 6 furlongs again should be to its benefit. And finally, Bailey, the 5-horse, Paco, making the third start after a layoff. Better in the first half mile last time around the track. And that was the first race for trainer John Kirby. Second time around the track with trainer Kirby is a 21% angle versus his 17% overall angle. Again, we're getting a little bit of alpha, some excess return there. I'm going to play a pick 4-2, Terry, 3-4-6 with the 1, 3, and 8 with the 1-4, and then the 3-6 on the back end. Our traditional hot dog style right there.
Yeah, and it looks like Christopher D'Souza likes your long shot, the 5. He said he likes it to win. It's a closer, and he likes the 86 on the EP. And then say hello to Razor Sharp Picks today. So
yes, Razor, I did get your notes and of course responded back to you back in the DM and Twitter there. So when the Belmont Stakes is over, we'll try to catch up next week and start planning out some great content where we can cross-pollinate, so to speak. All right, Terry. So we're looking now at what, race number 5? Is that where we're going now?
That's where we're going.
All right. So race 5, because when you get easily distracted like I do, you forget where you're at. So I got pretty soon I'm going to need a GPS device when I wander out of the house. Mile and 70 yards is what they're going to do for this claiming 7,500 non-winners of one in a year. The purse, a nice purse, $21,000. At the mile and 70 yards, again, it's Parx early speed, although we did not see early speed prevail in the first race today. There is a rail edge, so look out. Lambeau could do pretty well. Maybe outrun its odds. That's 6-1 right there. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out, under par. So outside is not as good as inside, Terry. Inside speed does work. In the 5th race, do we find any inside speed? Well, they all have some speed, it looks like to me.
Yeah, they all have speed. Nobody has really fantastic. The 5 has the most, though. The 4 has a nice overlay. It's supposed to be just under 2-1, like 8-5, and it's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. And then your 8 is supposed to be like about 7-5, and it's listed at 3-1 on the morning line. As far as the C zones, the 8, 4, 1, and 6 have the best looking C zone numbers.
Yeah, and there we go with that 2-banger right there, too, with relishment. Didn't make the back end of my trifecta, but this scares the heck out of me. Again, big overlay, strong C-zone score. We've seen that combination hit the board many, many times. This race shape is pretty interesting, though, Terry, because most of the horses want to be middle of the back with the exception of the 5 and the 8. So the 5 and the 8 can get off to a good start, run some pretty decent fractions. They might find themselves going wire to wire, but it looks like, they might have a little bit of problem up there. The 5 is more likely to take the lead than the 8, it looks like to me, at least according to recency. So there's only a 10-point spread from top to bottom, so kind of confirming what we saw in the simulations. Anybody steps on the gas, they can get the lead here. But that 3-horse, a closer, Scotty, another left arrow horse, one that's usually back, it's going to move forward. And not only is he going to move forward, Terry, but he's got some pretty good late pace too. Not quite as much as Screensaver, 7-point advantage over everybody else. The combination score tells us the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 8 should be very competitive for the win here. Maybe one of those out of that quartet should find the winner circle. Terry, what do you say?
Yeah, I think maybe so. The 8 Screensavers, my first pick, ran second versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That 3 closer, the closer, Scotty, he won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days been in the money 5 out of 9 starts with 4 wins. And he's my second pick. Running for home, the 9 is my third pick, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer whose entries win 26% of the races in the second race after he claims a horse, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And the long shot is the 5 Social Group. She finished third in her last race, or his last race, and earned the highest last speed rating, actually tied with another horse. And then I have skipped this race. No bets for me in this race.
Terry's going to save his money. He's budgeting like a very frugal. Well, I don't want to say frugal, Terry, but prudent. That's the word I'm looking for. Prudent better. Yes. Looking to place his bets where he feels the most confident. Screensaver, the 8-horse. Again, I mentioned, I feel like Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, as they do in Pennsylvania, could have a pretty good day together. Here they are on another horse that I have rated high that has a simulation odds saying it should do pretty well, has plenty of late speed and decent maintenance workouts between races. The 3-horse Scotty, that's my left arrow horse in there, Terry, closer, who's going to be forwardly placed today with this crew and taking a very small cut in distance. Look out, Lambeau. That 1 horse does get that rail advantage. Like to see that. has a chance to be better in the second up. And it won its first race off the bench by 7 lengths. This is the right distance for Lookout Lambeau. It's run there 18 times, won 7 of them, 2 wins, 2 seconds and 3/3. But if the horse is run at 14 other times at different distances, Terry, and has just 1 win, for whatever reason, that 70 yards makes a big difference for Lookout Lambeau, or that 70 less yards. I'm not quite sure which way it goes there. And then finally, the 9 horse Running for Home gets the next call for me. It is the most consistent horse, at least probably the most consistent horse in here. Trainer Bobby Hawthorne wins 27% of the time, second after Reclaim. And the first time the horse ran for Bobby Hawthorne, the horse actually ran some improved fractions. So maybe some continued improvement today. For Running Home, a trifecta 1-3-8 over the 3-8 over the 1, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And I do worry about that 4 upsetting my trifecta like it did in race number 1, Terry.
Yeah, and it looks like Christopher D'Souza likes that 4. He wants to win, place, and show on it. So,
indeed. And then also JT Brew joining us, the Turf Master, JT Turf Master Brew. Several picks today. Parx race number 7, 5 Servier. Race 10, First Squad over at LA Downs today, Louisiana Downs. Race 8, number 1, Quinn Murphy. Good luck to you as well, JT Brew. You know, it's LA. I went to the Indianapolis 500 one time, Terry.
Yeah.
And when I was there, we met some people and maybe a little bit of friction. So I asked the gentleman, where are you guys from? And he said, well, we're from LA. And I thought, well, that's a kind of funny accent for Los Angeles. I said, you're from LA? He said, I'm from Lower Alabama. I'm like, oh, I got it. All right there. All right.
Yeah. All righty.
It was actually kind of funny. Race number 6, Christopher D'Souza does have one for us. He says they got one for us here, Terry, in the 6th race. He's all over number 8 to win, yep. Majestic Lion. And neither one of us have that. So why don't you share with us why you like that one there, Christopher? Let us know what's cooking there that Terry and I missed, because neither one of us have them. Neither one of us have them in our picks. In the 6th race, we're looking at a race that they're going to run 1 mile and 70 yards again, Terry. We talked about the post having a little bit of an edge, 4 through 7, 2 through 7 being fair, 8 and out being a little bit under par. Early speed works. Maiden claiming $16,000 race, Terry. In race number 6, our early speed goes to the 1 horse, Golden Wildcat.
That's right. And he also has the benefit of the rail. If he can get out there, he might just go all the way. Anyway,
you got to do that like who was it? Chris Berman? Hey, cut, go. Was it? No, Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell. That's it. Yes. And then the overlays, the 2 there is supposed to be like 7 to 5, and it's listed 4 to 1 in the morning line. And then the 4 is just a little bit of an overlay. It's supposed to be like just over 7 to 2.
I didn't know Charles was running in the race today.
It's disturbed. Anyway, all but 7 has some C-zone numbers. 7 and 2, all but 7 and 2.
Poor Charles. I pick on Charles all the time. When we finally catch up with him, Big Boopa's going to give me a big boopa for sure.
He is.
Yeah, I have 2 black eyes, and we come back on the show, and Charles said, "Don't make me tell you twice." All right, look at it. Look at here in the race shape here, Terry. That 1 horse, Golden Wildcat, Lone E, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Those 4 have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line so far, at least anyway. 2 and 7 are closers, but if that 1 horse, Terry, can get out to the lead, looks like he will have 5-point advantage over the 7 horse. If that can be the case and you can run proper fractions, they might not run that 1 horse down, Terry, despite the weak late pace numbers there. You do see the 2 horse, one of the closers, with some of the best late pace, along with Majestic Lion, that 8 horse, the one that Christopher D'Souza likes. The early speed, late speed combination does belong to the 8 horse. Majestic Lion, 3-point advantage over everybody else in this spot. Terry, how do you rank them out?
Well, I like the 2 horse Last Stream. He ran second versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing, has the highest last race speed rating and a high percentage winning jockey. That speedster, number 1, Golden Wildcats, my second choice, drops in class today. The rail post is winning at a 19% clip. His start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 4, Disturbed, Big Boopa. He drops in class today and has a high
Terry taking shots too. Yes, I love it.
has a high percentage winning jockey. That's my third pick. The 7 is a long shot for me, first to last, and that might be what he does. So you never know. He ran second in his last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning jockey. Another race that I'm going to skip betting on.
Probably should have the 8 in there too. Majestic Lion. I agree. Now we kind of run through the numbers again. I want to say thank you to our good friend Jay Marco from where the In the Winner's Circle comes from. Jay did get that. I will probably tomorrow or the next day get an opportunity to get out and take care of it. It's going to be a long week with the Belmont Stakes, but it will be coming shortly. So keep an eye out on that. I'll have Sean reach out to you when it's taken care of. We're gonna go. Do we just do our picks there, or just go through the initial part there, Terry?
Well, I did my picks.
All right, so I'm doing my picks now. All right, I like the Golden Wildcat to get to the front, stay there all the way around the track with that rail edge. Does have that strong early pace advantage, really strong top C zone. Should get up on the front, should be comfortable, and is dropping in class, which should help it carry its speed even longer today. Disturbed, the 4-horse class dropper coming in from the Naira circuit, so also a track dropper. So maybe we can see improved numbers out of that, because many times you see those Naira horses come to Parx, even if their numbers look subpar to what we've seen at Parx so far, they tend to bounce a little bit higher. Number 2, The Last Dream, did run the top last race speed figure, catching a weight break today. Maybe better in the second race up and the second race at Parx after coming up I-95 from Gulfstream Park. Finally, first to last, you got to respect Paco Lopez on any horse. The guy's winning like crazy at Parx. He wins everywhere he goes. And this one's should be better in the second time where the horse goes long. $1 exact the key box for me, 4 over the 127. Terry, do I have $2 left or no?
Yeah, but I think $1.50.
So I can't do it. Never mind. I was going to throw the 8 in the back end in there, but
let me make sure.
Well, I probably have $1.50. It's probably
no. I'm sorry. You got $4.50 left.
All right, so I'm going to do that in the back of my bet. I'm going to put in the 8-horse in there too, just in case. So now I have $2.50 left.
Yep.
4 over to 1278, hoping that Disturbed, that Naira track dropper, can find its way into first or second place. You liked them last time you ran the 6-horse. All right, cool. All right, we got 2 minutes to race number 2, Terry. So let's work our way through the preliminaries for race number 7. What do you say?
I think that's a good idea.
In the 7th race, they're going to go for the first time today, 1 mile, 70 yards on the turf, an optional claiming 16,000, purse of 28 grand. If you're new to horse racing and you want to know if the horse is in for a claim or not, something I always kind of struggled with, right? When I first, how do I know which one's in there? Which one's for sale? It will be a number right here if it was in for sale. Let's see if we can find one. There you go, 16,000. So you can claim this one, but you cannot claim the 1 horse. So that's how you know about that. At 6 furlongs, I mean, 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf so far, Terry. And the reason I said 6 is they run 6 races. Half of them were won by speed. Half came off the pace. The 3 that did win by speed, interestingly, Terry, all of them went wire to wire. So either be in the front or be somewhere in the back. Try not to be in the middle. So far, the rail hasn't won yet. 2 and 3 have played fair. 4 through 7, a little bit of discount. The horses that have performed the best so far have been on the outside, 8 and out, Terry. So if another one's going to go wire to wire in race number 7, looks like that'll be the 8-horse, Fantasy Scepter.
That's right. The 8 has more speed than any of the rest. The 3 has a little bit, maybe have something to say about it. That 5 is a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be, 1 to 2, and it's listed at about 8 to 5 on the morning line. Mm-hmm. And then that 8 is just under 3 to 1 on the simulated odds, listed at 6 to 1 on the morning line. The 1, 5, 6, and 8 have the best looking C-zone numbers.
Yes, and as far as the best looking in terms of race shape, here we see it's a balanced race, though. Maybe because you have an 8-horse field here, right, Terry?
Yeah,
4-4, 8-horse field. 6 of the 8 want to be towards the back, middle back, so they could favor early speed. If it does favor early speed, then you're going to find that 6-horse, the 3-horse, and the 8-horse, that trio could get up the front, could find it to be comfortable to the running. Of that trio, the 3-horse has the best late speed, although Xavier, the 5-horse, with a 4-point advantage over everybody else. Early speed, late speed combination belonging to the 3, 7-point advantage over everyone else in there, Terry. But before we go to our picks in this race, we're going to go to our picks in race number 2, because that race is just about ready to get going. We both like the 3-horse on top. Looks like, according to the simulator, the 1-horse had 15-1 morning line odds, Terry, dropping all the way down to 9-2.
Wow.
Could get to the lead out there. So a lot of people must be paying attention to the C-zone and early pace simulations. And that's why that one made that big move down, Terry. Kind of surprised that 3-horse is, I mean, 4-5 still offers value according to the sim odds.
Yeah. That looks like Charles B likes the 6 in race 2, right?
In race 2?
Yeah, it's what it looks like to me.
All right, let's see. Charles B. Yes, I like FTS 6 number race 2 like what does FTS mean?
I have no idea.
Me either. Race 7, Christopher D'Souza. He likes the 1-5 exacta box for $4. First, maybe second in show. I'm not sure. This is my race. Sevier. You like that one, huh?
Yeah.
I have some concerns about that one, Barry. We'll talk about it in just a minute. I'm not 100% sure that it's going to take to the turf. I think maybe they were kind of hoping it would rain that day, or at least come. Well, now that 3-horse, Terry, they must have heard us say 4-5 still offers value. You know what it really is, Terry, is that, we do a lot of data analysis here.
Yeah.
And a lot of the data analysis that I do is off of the 3-horse. Didn't get a very good break, though, Terry. So that might prove not to be the case, although we saw the horse come from off the pace to win the first race. But if off the – it always concerns me at Parx where there's like a 2-5 or something like that because they hardly win.
I know.
Yes.
So that's why I'm hoping that 8 wins.
Yes, indeed. Well, right now you have the 1-horse at 7-1. Jumpstart the Orbs Party Girl, the speed horse that we thought.
Yeah.
That one is on the lead with the 6-horse to the outside. They're running pretty reasonable fractions there, too, at 23-2. So they're not going all that fast for a 6-furlong race. Although you do have the 8-horse storming. No, it's not the 8-horse. Who is that? 8-horse is in between horses, though. The 3-horse, though, after that bad start, is really kind of moving along pretty nicely. The 1-horse might have just screwed up the 3-horse's chance to win with some kind of weird, funky move right there. The 6-horse on the lead at 18-1. The 8-horse is on the outside. He's trying to corral the 3-horse to get up there. Let's see. The 3-horse is moving best, Terry. It's going to win at 2-5.
All right.
Maybe. I mean, the 6-horse is still moving, but that 3-horse is just trucking. And it's going to go 3, 6, and then 5. 3, 6, 5, 8. 3, 6, 5, and 8 is the order for race number 2.
Well,
so we're 2 races in, Terry.
Yeah.
And our top pick won both of them.
That's right. And I got the double, and you've got a single starting your pick 4, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, but at 1-5, everybody else that has that horse there.
Well, that's all right. You might get some prices later on. So
we're hoping. Oh, first time starter. Okay. Yeah. The in race number 2 with Parx.
Oh, okay.
That was the 6. Yeah, he did fire off pretty nicely there.
Yeah.
I would think that the next thing on that to circle that horse, because I would expect that you'd see some improvement next time around the track from that horse.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a good job. So
boom place and show an exacta try box. Yeah, that's a good one. What did the odds go off at the 6-horse there, Terry?
The
6 was
18-1. 18-1.
Yeah, drifted way up from that 5-1 morning line.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Good call on that exacta trifecta and whatever else winning bets you have there. In the race number 7, Terry, is where we're going to move forward again. Time to make our picks there.
All right. So as far as I'm concerned in that race, I like the 5, just like our friend that did. Sevier, she has a high percent winning trainer. She wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again to race, and a high percentage winning jockey. And this horse's turf speed is fastest among today's starters. Fancy Scepter is my second choice, number 8. She has finished in the money in her last 3 races, finishing 3rd versus similar on dirt in her last race, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 3. I think it's pronounced Colonel Maria. So she won her last race at Parx Racing, earning the highest last speed rating. Breeding suggests she will like the grass, as the dam has produced a turf winner already and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 6 is my Long Shot finished third versus similar on the dirt in her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 5-8 with the 1-5-9. I'm going to single the 2 in the 9th, and then I'm going to use the 1, 4, 9, and 10 in the last leg.
So in this race, I'm going to start with the 3-horse, Connell Morrow, or something along those lines. Does have a +7 early speed, late speed combination over everybody else. And it is coming off the maiden claiming win, something I normally would shy away from, but I don't shy away from it when it's accompanied by the top last race speed figure. It does have some strong turf pedigree, and of course, Paco Lopez rides the horse. I think that's a big plus there. The number 6 horse, Luella Street, does have the best turf pedigree numbers by a decent margin and also ties for the top C-zone score. So I think it should take to the turf, which is something I'm not sure Seaver does, because although it's making its classic third start off the layoff, and Frankie Pennington gets off the 3 to ride the 6, although I don't know that that's necessarily a decision. Maybe he just prefers to ride for the Nest Barn, which I can understand at Parx. If I remember, that's a Nest horse. But the horse has been on the turf 7 times, Terry. So it's tried the grass 7 times already and only has 1/3. So I look to see, okay, maybe on the off track, it's showing some life on the off track. So they think it can run better on the turf. But on the off track, it's 0 for 1 too. So I'm kind of curious about the surface for the 5-horse. Maybe it's just that much better than everybody else. But 1/3 out of 7, I got to play against that. And finally, Fancy Scepter, the 8-horse at Parx. This one's been on the grass there a couple of times. Finished third in both of those efforts. It's going to try to go wire to wire, Terry, but I think it might be facing a little bit too much speed to the inside, which could make it have to go wide all the way around the track. And outside speed that goes wide tends to fade at the end. So I'm going to try a pick 4 here, Terry. I'm going to try to throw out another horse that's likely to be a strong favorite. In that case, the 5-horse. I'm going to go with the 3, the 6, with the 1, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2 in race number 9. And then in the last race, I have the 9 and the 16.
But you need to go with the 8, 9, because the late scratches in that last race, they scratched 12 through 16.
Yeah, they had not scratched the also eligibles at that point. So I do have the 8 in there as an alternative. So that will show up in my picks as well. But if the 16 had been in there, I would have definitely had wanted that horse in there. But I will go with the 8 instead.
Yeah, it looks like Christopher DeSouza likes the 6th in, I assume, the 7th race.
Luella Street. Yeah, strong C-zone score. I like that 6-horse in there too, Terry. I think it's got a good shot to perform. Like I said, in my pick 5, 4, I'm tossing out the heavy favorite, but simulation says it should be 1 to 2. So I'm hoping he gets beat by a nose, Terry.
Okay.
The thing is, neither one of us, only one of us can win that pick 4 because we both have different picks on the opening leg.
That's right. Yep.
So, hey, you don't have the number 1 race 7 good C-zone. Rich, you don't have the 1 race 7 good C-zone score. Island Bell, yeah, it does have a pretty good Z-zone score in there. Might make my exacta and trifecta better with win on the 6. What did the 3 do something wrong?
Ooh, here.
I
don't know.
I think I saw the 1 horse do something. Are they trying to say that somebody clipped the heels of the 1?
Oh, he's saying, wow.
Yeah, I think maybe they're saying that it has to be on the that horse in red there, the one that finished 3rd. I don't think it impacts the winner. I think it's the 8-horse that might get DQ'd to the back of the track there because he made the 1 check up.
Yeah,
coming out of the turn there. Did he brush him or something, or just kind of squeeze him to the rail?
I don't know.
Yeah, tough to say. All right. Anyway, so now we're gonna the 1 horse Island Bell, high C-zone score, but I went with the couple of other things that I was looking at, like we mentioned in there. So yeah, the high C-zone score with a 5-1. It's a tough call too, especially. But I think the reason for me, if I remember correctly, is I think the rail is kind of tough there so far, right? Yeah, none from the rail yet. It was actually my very next pick, but I didn't do a trifecta, so that's why I didn't mention it. All right, Terry, we're going to go off to race number 8 in this 10-race card. In the 8th race, they're going to travel 6 furlongs again. This one's a maiden special weight for $50,000. So it's a pretty good maiden special weight race there at Parx. Again, 6 furlongs does favor some tactical speed, Terry. You do find that post positions 1 through 7, they play fair. Good 36 out of 100 horses go wire to wire. In race number 8, Mr. Terry, we're looking for some early speed. It looks like 3 horses could be the ones that pull the cart early.
Yeah, but the 9 has the most speed. So if he can get out of there, he might just take that lead all the way. The 5 has a really good overlay. It's supposed to be like 6-5, and he's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. And then that 9 has a small overlay. Well, double almost. It's 2-1 versus 4-1.
A good season scores for the 4, 5, and 8. 4, 5, 8 grading out as the best trip scenarios, perhaps. We do see the 6-horse scratch, a 7-horse first-time starter. I'm curious if anybody likes the first-time starter in here, like we had in race number 2 there. Again, you have 3 horses in this maiden special weight, the 2, the 8, and the 10 that haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader in their limited races so far. Other than that, it's a barbell race. The 4 and 9 on the front, the 1, 3, 5 want to close. Don't know what the 7 is going to bring to the table. Early speed does favor the 9-horse. Go East. 8-horse might be one of those no contest types that moves forward, gets some courage, and stays on. 1 horse, too, could be a left arrow horse. Looking at the late speed, 5, Viral Video does have the most late energy. And then, not surprising, we find him in the closers column. In a race that could be kind of open, as these maiden special weight types are. You do see got some good up top balance, although the number 1, Spirit Sky, grades out 4 points better than anybody else with the early speed plus late speed, Terry. And we both went with the 1 horse as our top pick.
That's right. I like the Spirit Sky. He ran second versus similar in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer, wins 28% of the races when he brings a beaten favorite back. And then switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Number 5, Viral Video. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has a best dirt speed as fastest among today's starters. Go East. The 9 is my third pick, has an early foot, and he also has a nice 3 furlong bullet workout. Separate ways, the 8 is my long shot, finished third versus similar in his last race, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play a dollar exacta box, the 159.
And then I'm going to I'm looking at the ejection. Everybody's blinking, but just watching the race, I did not see the 3 do anything wrong. I'd be shocked if they took the 3 down for whatever reason. I would expect that they're just going to move the 8-horse to the end of the to the back of the pack there. How you doing, foolish tipster? Any foolish tips? Foolish tips for us today? Where can you watch the Parx Racing live? You can't really watch it live anywhere unless you do like that Horse Racing Network TV, HRTN. I think that's like $5 or $10 a month, something like that. Or you can open up an account if you're offshore, like Bet Us or the one down in Australia. I always forget the name, something AG. But you can open up an account down there. You also have like William Hill in England and all sorts of other books where they have the races. So if you have an open account, some of them you have to use Bitcoin to make a deposit. If you have some Bitcoin, go open up an account, make a deposit, and you can watch the races in those accounts. Unfortunately, we don't have any relationships with any of those people yet. So we can't push you to one for any kind of bonus or anything like that. As far as my picks for race number 8 are concerned, Spirit Sky was more consistent from start to finish in its second career race, which is an indication of a horse on the improve. Once again, today we find Ruben Silvera, Jamie Ness, a lethal Batman Robin combination at Parx. This horse has a couple of nice maintenance workouts in between races. Number 9, Go East. It's the second start after a layoff with a bullet workout between races. And this horse has had a series of 2 races in a row a couple of times in its short career. And in both of its previous second start after a layoffs, the horse improved. Number 8, Separate Ways, major improvement in career start number 2. If the horse showed a similar step up the ladder today, could be more than enough to score the W here. And then finally, I'm going to take the 10-horse, Terry, as my next pick. Rabbit was a tough call over your second choice. Viral Video, that 5-horse with the big overlay. But I think the outside post could help it a little bit. Paco's on this horse, and it's 3 workouts since its debut where the horse showed some early speed and then faded at the end. I think those 3 workouts will help the horse maintain its stamina down the stretch. So I'm going to do a 50-cent try, 189 over the 19 over the 1, 5, 8, 9, and 10. The 5 being my 5th choice in there, Terry.
All right.
2 races to go. In race number 9, the distance is 7 furlongs, optional claiming for $40,000. First time today, Mr. Terry, that we're going to see 7 furlongs. When they do journey 7 furlongs at the track, early speed does well. 32% go gate to wire. And here we have a very strong inside to outside bias. So those inside 3 horses with speed tend to outperform everything to their outside, Terry. In the 9th race, if you're looking for some speed, boy, Celtic Tiger could be the one to catch, although everybody but the 6 has a chance to be on the lead.
That's right. Although that 4 should get there first, that quarter pole. And then the 1 has a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be just over 2-1, simulated odds at 9-2 on the morning line. The 2 has a little bit of an overlay, supposed to be like, I don't know, 6-5, and he's 2-1 on the morning line. And then the 7 is supposed to be almost 5-1 and 6-1 on the morning line. As far as the C zones go, the 2, the 7, and the 5 show the best C zone numbers. Yeah. And they just made it. They didn't take anybody down. I think they didn't make any change at all at the wait a minute. They might have taken the 8 down. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
No, they did. They didn't make any change.
Didn't make any change?
Nope.
All that for nothing, right?
All that for nothing.
Yes. I think I would make a good steward because I think I would make up my mind really quickly, Terry. I'd be like, it either is or it isn't something, right? Like, okay, let's move on and get to the next race.
That's right.
Yeah, so if anybody out there is looking for a steward, you know, Terry, I read they make like $300 a day, $300 to $400 a day. I imagine more often than not, they really don't do a whole lot up there. They watch races, and then if something goes wrong, they comment on them. I'm not a steward, so I don't know, but I'm sure there's a lot more to the job than that. But in terms of what I see day to day, and they're only there on race days. So anyway, in race number 9, Mr. Terry, we talk a little bit about the scenarios there. Our pace sheet says it's a pretty balanced race. The one horse in here that should scare you a little bit is the one that's all by itself. That's the 7 horse in here, Terry. Goldiness, the lone PC type. If these other horses here, the pilots and co-pilots, go too fast, could sit behind that wall of speed and then decide to close it home. As far as early pace is concerned, it does look like that 4 horse that we talked about, Terry, a 10-point advantage over everybody else. That horse is going to be on the lead. The question is who can run him down. With that pretty red late pace number, though, falling all the way to the bottom, you better get a good lead and hang on late there. As far as early speed, late speed combination is concerned, it does look like Avatar Hero, 8 points. And again, when you close in on a 10-point advantage on the early speed plus late speed combo, at least the way I calculate out those numbers, it's a horse that might not win, Terry, but almost a lot of times. I don't want to say almost always, so I want to jinx myself, but a lot of times that horse finishes no worse than 2nd or 3rd, and it's one that you want to wheel in your exactas and trifectas. I think we did. I put it in mine. You didn't put it in yours, so we'll see what happens.
And then Christopher D'Souza likes in the 8th race, the 4 win, place, and show.
Private Cabana. Yes, those would be nice to have.
I like the 2 Foggy Night. She ran 2nd in her last race, only missing by a neck. Has the best dirt speed, and she also has a bullet workout on May 24th. I like number 6, Sundria. She has finished in the money in all 4 of her career races at Parx Racing, winning one of the races and has a high percentage winning trainer. She's my 2nd choice. My 3rd choice is the 7 that you were talking about, Goldiness. She comes in from Laurel Park to try Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the dirt starts that he has a horse entered in, and has a good 4 furlong workout on May 26th. Celtic Tiger is my long shot, the 4. She has won 1 out of 2 career races and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. My pick for today is the 2 Foggy Night, and I want to bet $10 to win on it.
I like the 2 horse 2 here, Foggy Night. Overlay, by far the top C-zone score in this race, Terry. Did run the top last race speed figure by, I think, like 6 or 7 points last time out. And anytime you see a horse with that big of a last race speed figure advantage over everybody else, they tend to be really difficult to beat just standing alone. But this horse, since that top last race speed figure, has put in a bullet workout. I agree with you, Terry. I think the 2 horse is going to be tough to beat. But if anybody's going to do it, I do think it's going to be that 1 horse, Avatar Hero. Does have that early speed, late speed, 8-point advantage over everybody else in this field. It's also a track dropper, shipping up north again, up I-95 from Gulfstream Park for trainer Guadalupe Presadio. Guadalupe wins at 28% with shippers, normally wins at 21%. So that's a 7%. That's what? 33% alpha right there. Third up off a layoff. So you got a lot of angles there, Terry. Boxes, like you say, that you're checking. The only box that it didn't check, however, is running on dirt. 8 of this horse's races were on the all-weather, were performing very well. Come up to Parx, been training there. I think it's 2 workouts. Both of them are okay. Would like to see one of them be a little bit quicker, indicating that the horse is going to take to the dirt. Celtic Tiger went wire to wire in its debut, Terry. Then it tried to go to Penn, won its debut at Parx, tried to go to Penn and run in a $200,000 non-graded stakes race. So that's a pretty good race right there, Terry. Flashed some early speed, faded at the end. Something tells me the horse bled a little bit because it's getting Lasix for the first time today. That will help that horse today, and does have a first-time Lasix being a 30% winner. I think 6 out of 20 for trainer Kathleen Damasi. Finally, Goldiness, that lone PC in there, Terry, it makes me nervous. It's a lone PC again for Ruben Silvera, Jamie Ness. There's that combination again. This horse has raced 5 times, has 2 wins. Both of those wins came at today's distance in 3 races. This is coming up for its 3rd start after a layoff after a really nice workout at Laurel. I'm going to do $1 double with the 1, 2, with the 1, 8, 9, and 10 because the 16's not in that race, Terry. Did you know that?
I do know that. Yeah, it looks like Chris D'Souza in the 9th race likes the number 3 because it has a nice 89 EP number.
All right, so it has that early pace where it's going to get to the lead. And then finally, the last race of the day, Terry, the nightcap in the middle of the afternoon. It is race number 10, and in race number 10, the horses will try. I think this is another 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf, if memory serves. Yes, it does. I'm not, Jay, the brain hasn't totally gone yet. In that 1 mile and 70 yards, again, 6 races, half of them one going wire to wire, the other half coming from off the pace, Terry. Nothing is won from the rail yet. 2 and 3 play fair, 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. If you go on the outside, so far outside has been best in the limited number of races, Terry. Again, in race number 10, there's a shot to go wire to wire, Terry. And if they're going to go wire to wire, it looks like it's either going to go Run for Carl or Union Reward.
Yep, the 1 and the 8 and the 5 have the most speed. So we'll just have to wait and see. That 5 might just surprise that 1 and that 8. Anyway, as far as the overlay, there's a small overlay on that 1. It's supposed to be 9-2. It's listed at 5-1. And then the 9 it's supposed to be around 7-5. It's listed at 7-2 on the morning line. Most of these have nice C-zone numbers. So
now let me just change something here real quick, Terry, because I have 16 is out. So let me just pop that out of there, and we'll go back to race number 10 in a moment. And then as far as the last time today, let's take a look at what the race shape tells us and who might have an advantage. So you have the 3 and a 7 trying their luck for the first time. The 2, the 5, and the 9. That trio has not been close at the end of races yet, Terry. So other than that, we have a barbell race again, either on the front or on the back. That's basically how these races at 1 mile and 70 have been won. Either go wire to wire or coming from off the pace. If you're going to vote for the wire-to-wire type, Terry, that means your vote should go to either the 1, the 5, or the 8. So 5 horse and no contest horse, maybe you might toss that one out. The 1 and the 8, both on the front, both with similar early speed numbers, both with similar late pace numbers. Maybe take the 1 with a little bit higher odds out of those 2, or maybe the outside post because inside the rail hasn't won yet. If you like the latecomers, the 10 horse, First Squad, that has an 11-point advantage over everybody else, Terry. If the 10 is close, as I like to say, coming out of that turn, you might not be able to hold that one off. You can see I wanted that 16 in my picks, but it looks like Run for Carl, Union Reward. First, I mean, this is a pretty competitive race, Terry, all the way down, except for maybe from the 11 on down. So tell us, how did you rank them to close the show?
Yeah, I like the number 1 Run for Carl as my first pick. He finished third on the dirt in his last race, and he's trying grass, which he may like, as his dam has 6 winners from 10 starters, and 4 of those were turf winners. He has a trainer who wins 27% of the first route race he has a horse compete in, and a trainer jockey combination who has finished in the money in 3 out of the last 3 starts and won 2 of those. Then I like that 10 that you referred to, First Squad, as my second choice. Finished third versus similar in his last race, and after being bumped at the start, which may have affected his finish. Then the 9 is my third pick, second, and Reed. He drops in class today, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and his best start speed is fastest among today's start. He's actually tied with another horse. And then 4, LT's Jack in the Box. He returns to the turf where he might do better, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. He's my long shot. I'm out of money, so there's nothing I can do about betting this race.
So I am going to go with the 9 horse here up top, Terry. Second in Reed. Did tie for the top last race speed figure. And then it is also on top of that, the biggest class dropper in this race, Terry. And it's also coming in from the NYRA circuit. So you got a class drop, you have tie top last race speed figure, and the move down from New York. I expect this horse to be better today. And it's a huge overlay there too. 3-2 versus a 7-2 morning line. Union Reward. This is another one that has fair odds. Certainly a strong C-zone and early pace combination. And someone's going to go wire to wire. Why not that one? First Squad, that 10 horse, the one you put second, Terry, I put third. Should be rolling late. Coming in from Florida after debuting at Gulfstream Park, finished a nice third last time out at Tampa Bay Downs. This one could be better in its second start after traveling up from the Gulf Coast. Finally, number 1, Run for Carl, does have the best pedigree score by a decent margin. Fair odds, good C-zone, good percentage lead there for the 1 horse as well. Only problem so far is the rail hasn't scored in 6 races yet. I know it's a small data set, but it might be a little bit something that makes it difficult to win from the rail at 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf there. Last bet for me, just in case the 1 does win, Terry, I have a $1 exact key box, the 9 over the 1, the 8, and the 10, leaving me, what, $1.50 or something like that, $2 on the day out of my $100 budget?
Yeah, I think $1.50.
So good. So I spent my money today in full and wisely. Here are our full picks for the day, the whole show, Terry. Race number 1 and 2 are in the books. So far, Terry, you and I are perfect on that first pick. We got a 6-1 shot to get it started, and then a 1-6 shot in the second race. Let's see if maybe we can get something in between the rest of the day down. One quick thing before we go tonight. Jamie and Sean will return to Horse Center. They have a really special guest tonight in Kathleen O'Connell. She is the winningest female trainer in history so far with 2,401. Yeah, she had 24,000 wins. She'd be the top trainer by a long margin over everybody else.
That's right.
No?
Yeah.
Yes, but she is the top female trainer. She'll be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with Sean and Jamie, the best co-host and host combination in the country, hands down, Terry. Any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here?
Yeah, I'm hoping everybody has a great day and a real good rest of the week. The weather's been pretty warm here, and I think weather's been pretty decent across the United States, except for in Florida and Texas. I think it was a little bit bad. Just tell your loved ones and your friends how you feel about them, especially if you love them, and just have a great week. That's it. And if you like what you saw today, please subscribe on YouTube and hit that little bell so that every time we have a show come up, which we have shows almost every single day and sometimes 2, you'll get to see those and go to our, places like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok and give us a thumbs up and a like. It would really help us with our place that we're trying to get to.
So a couple of late things here. It looks like Charles B says race number 9, best bet the 4 horse in race number 9. He likes that one. He says that 4 starting 3-year-old campaign, great breeding, outstanding trainer off the layoff. In race number 10, Christopher D'Souza coming in with the 11 and 2 exacta box. He likes that. Put the closer in there. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, Charles, as always. We appreciate Christopher. We appreciate everybody joining us and your comments. Terry and I will be back to try our luck again tomorrow at Parx at the same time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell, like Terry said, so when we go live, you are notified. Wednesday, I'll be back with Big Boopa. We will do, I think, Horseshoe Indianapolis, although we might think about switching that to Delaware Park, because last year we know a lot of folks from Turkey join us in Delaware on Wednesdays was a day that worked well for them as well with the tracks they're allowed to bet. And of course, Thursday, we'll do Belmont as we prep for the Belmont Stakes this weekend. Again, head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Tonight, if you're going to do Asanobia, however it's pronounced, track up in Canada, those picks will be free. And of course, later on in the week, you'll find our wagering guide over there. Certainly do appreciate the support there too, Terry. And that wraps it up. So no matter how many minutes, the thing is my screen's not working. They're like the
1
video.
minute. 1 minute.
Is your video working there? Mine is not.
1 minute to post time, but mine's going to be behind you.
Yeah, but my video is not even working.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah.
Is yours video working?
Yeah. Well, I'm watching it on FanDuel. So.
All right. So mine's not coming up at all. So I can't see it. So if you're going to announce it, Terry, it's going to be your turn to go ahead and announce race number 3. Are they anywhere near the post or no?
Right now there's a commercial, so no.
So you're watching it on TV?
Yeah. I don't have it. I have it on.
I'll open up.
They're always behind. So
let's see. I'll open up my TVG account and see if they're ready to run there. Because on the other one that I'm watching on Twin Spires, I don't see the. I do not see the race there, Mr. Terry.
Yeah.
Let's see. The video stream is not working, and I don't know if that's because of my internet connection or if they're just having some kind of disruption in the signal. I do not know.
Yeah, it could be disruption. You never know what's going on. So
well, I see it in the TVG. Maybe it's just something. The TVG feed is working. Okay, now it's working again on the other one, which is a little bit ahead. So race number 3 is about to get started. You see in the window there our picks for race number 3. How you doing today? Thanks for joining us. VH. Race number 3 about to kick off at, you can see Terry and I both like the 4 horse in here, Guayas Fago. Big chance to get to the lead. Nice overlay on there. And then after that, we disagree a little bit, but not too much because we have the same 4 horses, just in a little bit different order. And as the race gets cracking, pretty even start there, Terry. It looks like nobody's really in a hurry to get to the lead, which I'm happy to see because that 4 horse does have that early speed tempo, Terry, and I didn't want to see him really fly out of the gate and run too fast. Although he does have some company. You got the 1 on the rail, the 6 to the outside, the 4 between horses, the 1 horse. And Giannetti has taken the lead right now as they go through the opening quarter in race number 3, a 6.5 furlong affair in 23-1. So I'd say on the fair side in terms of early pace, Terry. Not one where they're going too fast, I don't suspect. The 1 horse, they got a pretty good hold on that one. It looks like the 4 horse, these jockeys asking for a little bit from him. So far, not really responding. That duo is starting to pull away a little bit from the rest of the pack there, Terry. And looks like we have right now, who's coming up the middle here?
The 5.
The 5 horse looks like it's going to try to make a move in here. And so far, closers have done well, Mr. Terry. So the question is the 4 going to go by the 1 or not? Yes, it looks like the 4 is going to roll by the 1 late. Is he or isn't he? It's tough. Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to get him, I think, to switch leads, and he really hasn't done it yet. So the 1 is hanging tough in there. Nope, he's not going to go by.
Oh, boy. I didn't get my pick 3 then.
Nope, it's going to go 1, 4, 3, and 5. 1, 4, 3, and 5. So the 1 horse hanging tough in there, Terry. And I think that
long shot.
I think that nuked. Yeah, there you go. It's always, Terry, the next horse for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always the next horse. The Andretti went off at 6-1. 4 horse went off at 1-1. 6-1. I mean, we had the 4 horses, just we needed to move that 1 up a little bit, Terry.
Yeah. That 1 pulled away from that 4 too.
Yeah, it didn't look like he can get the 4 to switch leads though.
Mm-mm.
Right. And then see, it looks like he finally gets him to switch leads, and then the horse gears up. But at that point in time, the 1 horse, yeah, he pulls up next to him. And then it looks like the 1 switches leads and goes back to take the 114 and 2. So 1, 4, 3, 5. 1, 4, 3, 5. We just needed to move the 1, Terry. to
Yeah,
the other side, and we would have
that's
had
right.
it.
We would have had it, and I would have had to pick 3, and we would have been still good on our pick 4.
Yep, indeed. All right, well, that wraps it up for today, Terry. No matter what you do for the rest of this day at Parx or whatever track you prefer, be it grass, turf, all weather, something in between. If you're outside cutting the grass, sipping a drink, working hard, and no matter what it is, we hope that you get God's grace and favor today, and that every single thing you do until we get back together again, Terry, can only end up in one place, and that has to be
The winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us. Terry and I look forward to joining you again tomorrow. Have a great day.